Subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon, to never miss a video from us. In this chapter, we are going to learn to create a custom image, based on a virtual machine. Let's assume, you have a virtual machine with some already installed application components, and some configuration. And you want this base configuration for one or more virtual machines you are going to create. So, you can actually create an image out of your already installed virtual machine, and then create more virtual machines based out of that image. This process of creating an image is known as the generalization of a virtual machine. Let's see how we can do that. Let's go to our virtual machine. This VM already has Internet Information Services installed. Now let's say, we want to create an image out of this particular virtual machine. Please note that, when we create an image from a virtual machine, that virtual machine can't be used after that. We can use the image but not the virtual machine itself. Now, first connect to the virtual machine, to prepare the system, to create an image out of it. Then, on the virtual machine, open Windows Explorer. Go to the location. C Drive, Windows, then System32. There, you will see a tool sysprep. And, we need to run this. This will prepare the system, so that an image can be created out of the system. Now, click on Generalize, and in the Shutdown options, make sure to click on Shutdown, and then click on OK. After this, we will not be able to use this virtual machine anymore. Now, after some time, when the sysprep tool has finished running, you'll be disconnected from your remote session. After this, we have to stop the virtual machine, and make sure that the machine has been deallocated. Now, once the virtual machine has been deallocated, you can create an image by using the capture button here. Then fill in these details. And here, you can save it as an image version in Image Gallery, or choose to share just as a managed image. An image gallery, like the Azure Marketplace, is a repository for managing and sharing images, and you control who has the access. Now, go to your image. And you can create a virtual machine out of this image. Everything else remains the same. We will include the port 80 also. Because, remember, in our virtual machine, from which we created this image, we had Internet Information Services installed. So when we now create a new virtual machine out of this image, we will already have Internet Information Services installed. So now, once the new virtual machine is deployed, we can take the public IP address and directly can see Internet Information Services. Also, you can find your VM image by searching image in the search bar. Your created images and image versions gets saved here. So we will go to image versions and here we can see our VM image. To create a custom image from a VM using the PowerShell, use these steps. 1. Create some variables. 2. Make sure the VM has been deallocated. 3. Set the status of the virtual machine to generalized. 4. Get the virtual machine. 5. Create the image configuration. 6. Create the image. In this lesson, we will learn, what is an Azure Resource Manager? Azure Resource Manager is the deployment and management service for Azure. It provides a management layer that enables you to create, update, and delete resources in your Azure account. Now, to automate deployments, and use the practice of infrastructure as code for Azure solutions, we use Azure Resource Manager templates. An ARM template is a JavaScript object notation file that defines the infrastructure and configuration for your project. The template uses declarative syntax, which lets you state what you intend to deploy, without having to write the sequence of programming commands to create it. In the template, you specify the resources to deploy and the properties for those resources. Within your template, you can write template expressions that extend the capabilities of JSON. These expressions make use of the functions provided by Resource Manager. The template has the following sections. 1. Parameters. To provide values during deployment that allow the same template to be used with different environments. 2. Variables. To define values that are reused in your templates. They can be constructed from parameter values. 3. User-defined functions. To create customized functions that simplify your template. 4. Resources. To specify the resources to deploy. 5. Outputs. To return values from the deployed resources. Now, if you want to deploy a custom template, you can search template on this search bar. You can create a custom template from here, or you can choose custom templates from the Azure Marketplace too. Here you can either create your own template in the editor, or you can use the commonly used templates. You also have the option of choosing from GitHub. Now let's create a Windows virtual machine using an existing common template. Now here, you can edit the parameters. And here you can edit the template. If you go to the Edit template, you can see the entire JSON template, which is used to create this virtual machine. You can see that it is a long template. Because, when you create a virtual machine, you need to have a storage account, a public IP address, a network security group, a virtual network, and a network interface. And also, the template can either create all of these resources from scratch, or it can use existing resources. Thus, if you have an existing virtual network, you can ensure that this template refers to that existing virtual network. You can also download it for automation purposes from here, or you can do it later also. Now it is deploying your Windows virtual machine. Earlier when we created a Windows virtual machine, we had to go through a list of steps. The difference now is that, everything is now embedded as JSON code in a template. So you can download this template, you can reuse it, you can deploy it using the PowerShell, and Azure portal as well. So when you have a requirement of deploying similar types of virtual machines, then it makes much more sense to have a template in place, and use to create resources. Now we can see that our resources have been created from the template. If we go to Virtual Machine section, we can see our virtual machine too. Also, if you want to use any other resource as a template, you can go to that resource, and download it for automation purposes. For more such videos, subscribe to our channel.